services delivery.
At first, parents would complain that I want my child to do science. And then, you know, of course, when you don't have any science laboratory, you know, you have to allow the child to go to schools like Newsrat, Gambia High School and stuff who have a well-equipped lab. But now, you know, gone are those days. Those are past tense now. The government really tried a lot to make sure that at least they equip this laboratory. The senior secondary schools that they build, just like Bansang, they're well-equipped. We have, you know, enough laboratory materials now, and then just today, you know, like you can see, witnessed the arrival of some materials by some donations from Humanity First. What I want to tell parents is that there's no need for one to rush over to Combo, and in fact here it's cheaper, especially your girl child. If you have a girl child, you know, is attending senior secondary school around here, she doesn't need to pay anything. Whilst if it is over there, you know, you have to augment. What you're supposed to augment on top of the scholarship is even going to be more than what you are going to spend on high here for 2 years.
The pressure on Amridge is very, very high, and it's a boarding school. Therefore, it's necessary to have another senior secondary school on the south bank. And when planning unit of the State Department of Education check the school and feel that the manpower is there and also the structures are on the ground, they try to upgrade this school to a senior secondary school. From junior now, it's called a senior secondary school. And it has a role of almost 1,000 students, both the junior and the senior secondary school. We are getting our students from Bansang up to Nyamina N. It's just that they established another senior secondary school at Jaring and also in Bansang, which also is the burden on us.
To tap the full economic potentials of the country, the government endeavored to put in place the requisite backbone infrastructure to jolt the rural economy into vibrant activity. It was a deliberate policy designed to bridge the development gap. The building and upgrading of rural infrastructure was the first practical move in an unprecedented drive to regenerate major rural settlements and growth centers.
Cities that he's about to build for us. That will go a long way in helping to develop the people. Because one, this rural urban drift would be completely out. Because people will have places to work, and then you stay in your own village. So that is a very welcome idea, and it's not only Janyambure and Kaur.
Although the ultimate targets of food self-sufficiency and export have yet to be realized, recent years have witnessed unprecedented number of Gambians taking up agriculture on a more serious note, and the results have been bumper harvest several years in a row.
If you remember those early days of the revolution, we are talking about national pride, independence and dignity. It emphasized independence. But how would you be independent if somebody is feeding you? How would you be independent if all your livelihood is imported? That was the time we said we must go back to the land.
Last week I went to one field day, just at Upper Salem. One single farmer, he had 1,170 bags of rice. One single farmer.
At the official level, the approach to agricultural development is being decentralized, with regional directorate staff and offices being relocated to the rural communities, a far cry from the past.
The Department of Agriculture has restructured the department for about 2 years now, so that we have regional directors at the regional level. The intention is so that the agricultural activity can be more focused and directed to the needs and aspirations of the farming community. And since we started, most of the staff are resident in the regions, including our own CRR South. so that we can concentrate.
We realize that when technologies are generated in the absence of farmers, it becomes your technology and not a technology for them. That is why from now on a new paradigm in agricultural research is developing technologies with farmers. They are part of the development of these technologies, and the technologies must measure up to their cultural beliefs, they must measure up to their income levels, they must measure up to the levels where they can have meaning to the farmers, and of course, increased income and food security.
The administration's resolve to stamp out financial and moral impropriety has reduced official corruption and indiscipline within the system and inspired a sense of honesty in service and dignity in labor. Public officials have been successfully prosecuted in the past, and many others are still standing trial for various crimes, including economic and financial crimes.
The theme, a definitive no to drugs and corruption, commits us all to transcend from merely recognizing the two as the worst enemies of social and economic progress, to exposing and bringing all those who have anything to do with these unforgivable acts of greed and deceit to account for their deeds.
In the area of public information, the new government was aware of the power of information as an agent of change. For the first time, public radio broadcasting, which hitherto covered just about half of the country, covered the entire nation. And the first national television station was established within the first 2 years of the new administration taking over.
In 1995, when the TV was installed, the station was installed, TV came into the Gambia. First, the Aboko transmitter was installed, a 5 kilowatt. We served up to the western region, up to maybe Sintet and others. Then came Masakonko to serve the other areas, Jara and the North Bank, part of North Bank, then Bansang.
More recently, satellite broadcasting was introduced, with both the national radio and television broadcasting to both domestic and international audience.
Meaning we're not only covering for the Gambia or the sub-region, we cover the whole of Africa, Middle East, the whole of Europe, going to Greenland and part of United States, then the whole of South America also. So you see, it has an advantage also for us, the engineers, because at first we are using the fiber network, Gamtel fiber network, to connect the studios to the transmitters. But with this satellite now we are global. We can also receive from the satellite, feed into the transmitters and then rebroadcast terrestrial. Because not many people can afford the satellite dish. But then with terrestrial broadcast, you just need a TV and a just affordable antenna to get your signals.
For us now, we are presenting what we call 5 E's. That is educative programs, effective programs that are eye-catching, explanatory and entertaining programs to complement our social and corporate responsibility as national broadcasters to present high-quality programs. And again, looking at the development, within a very short lifespan, the Jammeh administration was able to go into satellite project. Some people thought that whether it was a dream, but it was not a dream, it was a reality.
The past 16 years witnessed exponential growth in the number of private media organizations in the country. From private newspapers to magazines to FM radio stations, including community radios, the numbers continue to grow. From communication to transport, health and education, agriculture and energy, information technology and finance, great strides continue to be registered, due in no small measure to the requisite backbone infrastructure crucial for economic activity. Bridging the gap between rural and urban settlements in terms of resources and services is a sure way of standardizing the development process. And devolving authority is another sure way of empowering the people. Development and good governance are a twin concept that guarantees economic prosperity, safeguards political stability, and enhances social justice.